Um, when I went to the store today and I bought champagne. And while I was at the store to buy champagne, they had candy at the store. Fun candy. And yeah, I bought some. And it's starting to work now. So I need to read and then I'm going to go to bed. It's candy. The candy said chill on the side. I'm feeling very chilled out. I don't think I could get anxiety if I wanted to. So, I got candy, and I tried the candy. Well, this is not my first time trying the candy. I tried the candy in December because it was Christmas, and I was losing my mind. I mean, it was the week of Christmas, and I had like 8,000 things to do at work, and wrap presents, and the kids were home, and it was just bananas. And I had a full meltdown. Like, I lost it. It's like, and it was something like the kids had set me off on something, and I just nuclear blowout. I was not in a good spot. So I contacted my friend who, what do I have? A peanut. Who knows all about candy and gardening. If you're a, she knows all about candy and gardening. Very funny, mindless. Very funny. Where do you think I get it for Doc? She's very easy to crash out because I'm so used to crashing out. But anyway, she knows all about golfing and candy, and so she let me try some, and that helped. But I'm feeling very relaxed. Kind of like it. Which is good, because tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Tomorrow kind of marks the start of insanity for the next month or two. So, it's just going to be insane. Because tomorrow, I got 2 birthday parties, a haircut. I gotta turn in all my schoolwork because the semester's over. Sunday is the only day I have time to make strawberry jam for the year because the strawberries are in season. So now is the time for me to run out, go get a whole bunch of strawberries and make strawberry jam and can it in my little water bath canner, little Susie homemaker nonsense. Because Sunday is the only day I will have time to do it. Which is fine. Next weekend's May the 4th. May 10th is Mother's Day. May 17th, my daughter is in our church's dinner theater. I'm helping cook in the kitchen for that. My niece's wedding on Saturday. I have to be back for dinner theater on Sunday. So dinner theater Friday, wedding on Saturday, which is 6 hours away. Let's do it again. Weekend after that is Memorial Day weekend. We're in Atlanta for a Nationals Taekwondo tournament for Mini Mando. Weekend after that, I'm at Disney World. The weekend after that, Ren Fair. Weekend after that, California. And then the week after that is Vacation Bible School. And then 2 weeks later, mission trip running summer camp. Seriously. I will not have downtime between tomorrow, basically, and July. Other reason why I'm trying gummies and candy so that I can hopefully manage what is about to happen for the next like 4 months. It's gonna be so much fun. Anyway, we're supposed to read. Yeah. Hi, Tony. Yeah, you guys got a bonus night. Which I might just do bonus nights right now anyway, because, well, I don't usually stream on the weekends, so it's fine. I will not be here. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go live when I'm in California, because the kids will still be awake then, because it would be like 7 p.m. So I don't think I'm going to go live when I'm in California. And when I'm running summer camp, I cannot go live either, because I don't have reliable internet. There's no reliable Wi-Fi. That's a big reason. But also I'll be surrounded by a bunch of teenagers, so. A bunch of teenagers that I cannot put on my social media, so. Okay. Oh no, that's sad, Omni. Oh, that'd be nice. I have to get a haircut tomorrow. That's the main thing I need to do for myself tomorrow is get a haircut. Because I'm not going to have time to get it done now, between now and like the end of summer. Oh! And then the next month, in August, my cousin will be coming in from Kansas with my aunt. So, yay. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. Hi, Brandon. And I'm currently printing something for one of the birthday parties tomorrow. I'm printing a flexible monkey. According to Tiny Mando, that's what her friend likes is monkeys. So, printed a monkey. That'll be fun, Omni. Give me a Lolita dress. A Chobits dress. I want a Chobits dress. Are we ready? Everybody cozy? I'm cozy. Like I said, I feel incredibly relaxed. Alright. Chapter 60. Closing time. Egan. The boy looked up at his father, sprawled on the bunk of his cell. It was the first time the old man had spoken since the boy had carried him back from the morgue. His voice, though weak, was surprisingly clear. He's coming. Radik. With what seemed like tremendous effort, Artagan Truax lifted himself up onto his elbows and faced his son. Coming to kill me. But I thought you saved his life. Doesn't matter. The old man shook his head. Since I helped the Zabrak summon the Bandogora here. But quiet, boy. Artagan's voice grew firm, edged with this vestige of its former strength. There's something else I need to tell you. Something I've never said before. Egan waited. Before you were born, your mother and I were part of the Bandogora. Thought they held the secrets of the galaxy, but it was the wrong road. But we didn't know it at the time, even when... Artagan took a shuddering breath. Even after she died, I stayed with them. You were just a baby. There was no way out. There was silence in the cell. The day came 16 years ago. I heard them plotting to kill Radik. To ambush him, hijack his weapons shipment. Radik was powerful even then. I saw my chance for both of us. I thought if I broke with Gora at that moment, saved Radik's life, earned his trust, then at least you'd have an advocate, somebody to watch over you. Artagan broke off into a coughing fit, then gradually regained his voice. At first, the plan worked. When the shooting started, I had a ship ready. We got away with Radik. He left us at the first spaceport, promised he'd be in touch, to repay his debt, but... Artagan drew in a sharp, painful breath and released it. I didn't hear from him for years. We traveled, you and me, holding fights for money. I knew it couldn't last, kept waiting to hear back. Finally, years later, a message arrived. It was him. Told me that he could help us. Here. Sorry. Piece of peanut stuck in my teeth. So you brought me back, Egan said, to this place. The old man nodded. When we first got here, I sought him out. And I found him, or he found me. Within the first month, he made contact, offered me a job helping him build weapons here. He offered me protection for myself and for you. And all I had to give him were my eyes. Only problem with eating peanuts. Artagan shook his head. I couldn't do it. Couldn't be blinded for him. So he disappeared again until now. When I sent for the Bando Gora, and now he's coming to finish me. Egan stood up. I won't let him. Doesn't matter. I'm already dead anyway. Not like this, Egan said, taking his father's hand and squeezing it. Sorry, boy, a voice said behind him, but it's going to be exactly like that. Egan turned around. A half-dozen inmates, humans and non-humans alike, were standing there blocking the entryway. It took less than a second for Egan to register that none of them had eyes. How had they found their way up here? Then he saw the birds. One of them opened its beak and let out a shrill, croaking caw. The birds had led them here. Mr. Radik sent us, the blind man said. He was clutching two long shafts of sharpened steel in both hands, long and gleaming like a pair of homemade machetes. On the others were similarly armed, to deal with the old man for summoning the Bando Gora to the hive. He shook his head. Our actions have consequences, don't they? Just as all rivers lead to the sea, their paths may differ, but the end result is never in doubt. No, Egan stepped toward them. You can't. The blind man loosed a keening shriek and flung himself at Egan, both arms spinning. Egan ducked and lunged for the man's knees and felt a wave of muscle slam into his cheekbone, driving him to the floor. His thoughts sucked down for a star-shot funnel of half-conscious agony. Feet were trampling him, stomping him down. From somewhere on the other side of the cell, his father was trying to talk, struggling to make himself heard. Egan put up his hand. It was hopeless. Father, no! Lifting his head, Egan saw them surrounding his father, swinging the blades down onto him, flinging up great gaudy fans of blood as they hacked away at what remained of his body. They attacked like animals, as if their lack of sight had somehow blinded them to any sort of human mercy. In the midst of it all, Zabrak's words comparing him to his father echoed through Egan's mind. You don't have his heart. You'll never be half the man he is. Egan shook his head. Not anymore. Something changed inside him, something deep and final. Without even being aware of what he was doing, he leapt forward and felt his body, his muscles and the adrenaline and the very blood in his veins flying into motion, launching into a series of lightning-fast strikes. Every part of him was in motion at once, fists, feet swinging out, delivering a blizzard of punches and kicks that seemed to connect with the 6 blind men simultaneously, in a burr of speed and shattering bone. They were following at either side of him now, their blades clattering to the cell floor, and Egan knew that up until this moment, if he'd ever attempted such an assault, he almost certainly would have died. It was nothing like what he'd imagined, as if he'd given up his body and been brought back to life by something profoundly faster and more powerful than himself, resurrected for a singular moment of triumph. When it was over, he dropped his fists to his sides and stood gasping amid a pile of bodies, his arms soaked in blood to the elbows. Yeah, it's kind of what it's like in this book. A voice from the middle of the pile. Egan? Father. He came forward and yanked one of Radik's men to the side. The old man's body was there, horribly chopped and hacked, but somehow still clinging to the last scraps of consciousness. Artagan held up one bloody hand. He was smiling. The 52 fists, he managed. Egan felt the walls of his throat swelling. He couldn't speak. I'm so proud of you. The boy dropped to his knees and embraced him. Even now, there was thunder in the old man's chest, the battered heart pounding defiantly, even as it came to the final moments of his life. He held the old man like that until the thunder stopped. Some uncertain amount of time later, he heard footsteps again entering the open hatchway. Looking around, Egan saw Jagannath standing there. The Zabrak was staring at the pile of bodies strewn throughout the cell, the makeshift weapons slowly drying blood. At last, the eyes of the red-skinned inmate came to meet Egan's. You did all of this? The boy said nothing. Your father? Dead, Egan said. The Zabrak nodded as if he'd expected nothing less. Come on. Where are we going? The cargo bay. Egan frowned. I have unfinished business there. Problem with eating peanuts. They get stuck in my teeth. Chapter 61. Pressure and Time. Even before the lift door opened on the hangar, Maul heard the blasters going off in a steady volley of explosions. Egan stared at him, the whites of his eyes gleaming in the recessed lights. What's going on out there? A firefight, Maul said. He hadn't expected it, but at this point nothing came as a surprise. Keep your head down. The lift opened and a blaster bolt exploded inside of it, decimating the control panel behind his head. Egan let out a startled shout. Ignoring the boy, Maul dropped into a defensive crouch and stared out at the hangar, giving himself 5 seconds to analyze everything that was going on in the cargo bay. 2 distinct groups were staging a pitched battle on either side of the open 5-meter gap that divided the hangar floor in half. Yeah, it's a skill issue with the peanuts, I guess, sort of. Two distinct groups were staging a pitched battle on either side of the open 5-meter gap that divided the hangar floor in half. On the side nearest where they stood, a small group of Coghive 7 guards was exchanging fire with what appeared to be a much larger mob of prisoners, all of whom seemed to have more powerful weapons. The prisoners were clearly winning. Not only were they having a far better time of it, some of them, Maul noticed were actually laughing as they fired on the guards, but they'd very nearly managed to manipulate a long docking gangway over so that it spanned the open chasm in the hangar floor, allowing them to complete access to the entire hangar. Maul wondered fleetingly why the guards didn't simply trigger the bombs implanted inside the inmates' hearts, and then realized that the men he was seeing must have been the incoming prisoners. A screaming guard ran across the floor. His face was literally on fire, his features melting even as he ran. Things were falling apart on Coghive 7. What do we do now? Egan shouted. Maul ignored him. Greater rafts of blaster smoke and burning metal hung in the air. The guards were running low on ammunition, and there didn't seem to be any backup coming. In the midst of all this, Maul saw the enormous hollow bit of a hut perched on a repulsor platform, rolling his eyes and chortling with delight. Jabba. He registered the Time Lord's virtual presence here, and in the same moment dismissed it as irrelevant. Whatever Jabba the Hutt was doing here in the middle of Coghive 7, in person or by proxy, was a complete enigma, but it had nothing to do with his own mission. Keeping his head down, Maul bolted across the hangar to the CLL binary load lifter, blending heedlessly back and forth among the fray. Judging from the carbon scoring along its armored carapace, it hadn't been completely successful in avoiding stray blaster fire. Exposed wiring and circuitry dangled from the central processor, fuming with sparks and contrails of pale gray smoke. Droid! He shouted. The thing pivoted and regarded him dully through the yellow haze. Maul cast his mind back to the last time he'd been here with Slifer, remembering what the banker had said. IBC yellow card security variant 377055. Voice verify. Vesto Slifer, Maul told him. There's a package arriving here. You're holding it for me. Where is it? The droid didn't budge. Voice verify. Rather than answering it, Maul swung himself back onto the back of the droid, casting a quick glance across the wires of the thing's processor. His experience hacking into systems was limited, but it was sufficient to identify the manual override on the load lifter's primary security system. Redirecting wires into the remaining circuits, he snapped them back into place. The low, unwavering hum that followed seemed to take an eternity. Out the corner of his eye, he saw Egan racing toward him, dodging a hailstorm of shrapnel landing next to the CLL unit. The boy glanced at the ongoing firefight and then up at the droid, then finally back to MAUL. What's it doing? Giving me what I came for. We can't stay here. Egan pointed across the hangar to where the gangway had finally bridged the gap. They're already coming over. With a roar, armed prisoners started storming into the hangar as the last of the guards turned to flee. They'll kill us. They're indifferent to us, MAUL snapped, not sure why he was bothering to answer. He hadn't expected the boy to survive this long, certainly not by following him across the hangar. Inmates were streaming past them on both sides, chasing the guards, heading for any still functional turbolift. Less than a meter away, he saw one of the correction officers turn to glance back, just in time to catch a red bolt of energy directly in the throat, flinging him onto the wall in a smoking corpse. The boy stared and made a noise like he was going to be sick. We have to get out of here. Run if you want, MAUL told him. Or stay and die. It makes no difference to me. Egan stared at him, open-mouthed, and then shut it again. The thunderclap of blaster fire had begun to recede. MAUL turned back to the hangar where the last of the prisoners were swarming their way toward the prison's upper levels. I am getting sleepy. Mr. Slifer, the droid said, here is your package. Opening its housing, the thing reached inside itself and handed over a featureless black shipping crate. MAUL took it from him. It was time to go. Ah! Besto Slifer got him the bomb that Sidious wanted, I think. Yay! We read 2 more chapters! We're getting there. We're slowly picking our way through the book. Well, I mean, we don't have much left. That's it. That's all that's left. Might end up having to, I didn't get the books from Thrift Books yet. That was 2. It was. I know. Even when I'm reading slow tonight. I can tell that I'm reading slower than normal tonight. Yeah, I can tell that I'm reading slower than I normally do. But it's fine. Oh no. Definitely not. I don't know when my books will be. Still chilled by the candy? Yes. I'm still feeling very chill. Oh, I'll feel chill for hours. Because it'll last me way longer. Because of the GLP-1, it slows everything down. It slows down my absorption. So I get much longer times out of it. Yep. When would I have time to do that, Omni? By the way, I just ordered the books. So, I don't know when they're going to get here. But I got the books. And just for anybody that's interested, there is an LANK in the BIO to get you a special code for Thrift Books. And right now, they're running a sale. If you buy 1 book, you get 5% off. Buy 2 to 4, you get 10% off. 5 to 7, 15% off. Buy 8 or more, you get 20% off. Oh, that took me way too long to realize what you were doing, Omni. I was like, madness takes its toll. Madness takes its toll. Hang on, I know what this is from. Give me a second, I'll get there. Yeah, it took me way too long to figure out that was Rocky Horror. It's not my fault. I'm tired. I never checked to see if my boss ever actually answered me. It would be nice if she did. I need her to sign off. Not for very much longer. Yeah, it's been a long week. She's been gone all week. So like I had it was nice and relaxing because I didn't have her like breathing down my neck to get stuff done. Got everything done, but I just know that like, nope. I don't know what you. Yeah, he's been. Yeah, hang on. I blocked him. Um, I think we've kicked him before. Well, I blocked him. Like he's blocked by me. I think we've kicked him before. I don't know why people got to be like that. It's disgusting. Weird. But yeah, so there is a sale going on thrift books to get, like I said, buy one get 5% off, 2 to 4 10, 5 to 7 15, 8 plus 20% off, and yeah, LANK and the BIO to quote Mr. Pierre. I think it gives you free shipping. I think. I'm not 100% sure though. Ooh, look, you could join a book club. Natalie Portman's book club. There we go. I'll do that. I'll join a book club. Get books that I don't have time to read. I did. So I ordered Queen's Peril. I ordered Phantom Menace for us to read. And then I also bought the next book in the series. Remember we were talking about On a Pale Horse by Piers Anthony? I got the next one in the series. Well, aren't we in kind of the Padme book club? Yeah, so the Natalie Portman book club picks. The beginning comes after the end. Mother Mary Comes to Me. Strange Pictures. Malala Yousafzai. Finding My Way. Father Figure. The Bee Sting. The English Understand. No Straight Road Takes You. Different Kind of Power. Consider Yourself Kissed. Autocracy Inc. Saving 5. Saving Time. Safekeep. Monsters. Some of these I recognize. Walden, Nora Ephron, Martyr. She apparently has an Instagram book club called Nat's Book Club. Yeah, it looks like it's mostly like cultural things, autobiographies. Not really my style of book, but hey, everybody's got their own. Oh, there's a book talk section on thrift books. That's fun. I have a couple book talk books that I need to read. Some of them got me just like, I saw the video on them and they got me like super, ooh, that sounds really, really good. But then I started trying to read it and then it was boring. Not my favorite. So. All right. Well, this is a fun party, but I am going to fall asleep in this chair and I really don't want to fall asleep on live because that would be dumb. So I am going to go to bed. I'm not going to promise that I will be on tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but if you find yourself not busy tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I might read. Sure, go ahead, Jeffrey, right before I sign off. I know it's a short live tonight, but I am sleepy. I am feeling very, very sleepy. And tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. And I also need to log on to my work computer and check and see if my boss emailed me. I'm waiting for the joke. Need the joke. Oh, there we go. What do you call the space between a cow's knee? I have no idea. What do you call the space between a cow's knee? Moonies? Is it Moonies? A burger joint. Oh, I like that. That was funny. Okay. So, I will see you guys tomorrow, maybe. I don't know. I'll make that determination tomorrow and see how I feel. So, anyway, have a good night. Love y'all. See you later. Oh, I'm not zooted, mindless. Ugh. Chemically enhanced. I prefer the term chemically enhanced. I only took one. Yeah, I banned the bot. But I took one. And it takes a couple hours to work. But tastes good. And I'm now feeling incredibly sleepy. Which is kind of what I wanted it to do. Because I want to get a good night's sleep. So, anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Or we could play games. I would like to play games. Can we play games tomorrow? Since we don't get to do D&D tonight. Well, we'll talk on Discord. Anyway, I'll see you guys all later. I will be on